I love that for you, though. That's 2. Alright. 2. It is similar to the feeling when learning to read Braille becomes less. Yes, yes, yes. It's very similar to learning things, and it becomes less and less of a strain to be able to do it. And then you just like get the hang of it, and it's like, whew, just like go. I'm still kind of in the in between phases where I'm not like quite like possible to just do it without counting all the time. When I'm working on a pattern, I definitely have to count a lot. Um, but getting better all the time. I haven't even been doing it for a year, so. But the funny thing about it is that I started with knitting, and I somewhat recently learned how to crochet. And I also just primarily get to crochet now. The funny thing, like, this all started because I was knitting, and then now I crochet more than I knit, which is why I was excited to finally think about making that sweater that got me to knitting in the first place, which is what I need the interchangeable needles for. Is that sweater? You've only been crocheting a year? Yeah, I learned how to crochet on stream. My chat taught me how to crochet in March of 2023. So I haven't been crocheting a whole year yet. It's kind of just something I picked up really easily and just ran with. Also, the same thing goes for knitting. I kind of just picked it up and I just ran with it. I've only been knitting since 2021. I kind of just I had never done any yarn craft, and then I just one day decided I wanted to knit a sweater, and I was like, okay, I want to knit a sweater. I'm just gonna learn how to knit. I haven't made that sweater yet, but I've made tons of things. That's but yeah, it was just one of those things that I was just like, I'm just gonna pick it up. And now look at us now.
Good for it.
Airnight, thank you for the business
money,
suite.
Lebowski?
I've been crocheting off and on for about 40 years, and aw, don't say that. We're all good in our own ways. We're all good at things in our own ways. I have this weird thing, and this is why I tell people that when they're learning, do not compare your journey to my journey, because I have this thing, and it's a thing. It's a full thing, and when I learn certain things, I really get into them, okay? And I will attempt to master it as quickly as possible. And it'll be an obsession for the rest of my life. Just how my brain works. Just how my brain works. Get in the tornado! We're going on an adventure. Good morning. Get in the tornado! Let's go on an adventure! Where is the yellow? Blue John. How was the rest of your weekend? Thank you for tornado hunting with me. You should only set personal goals. Yes. Yes. Because it happens a lot where someone's just like, heck, I'm learning, but I'm nowhere near as progressing as fast as you. I'm just like, yeah, but like I have this thing in my brain. I just kinda I just do things. And it just makes sense to me. It makes sense to no one else. But it makes sense to me. If your ADHD always distracts me before I get in the mastering part. Yeah, yeah, it's rumored. It's perhaps a little, it's a little not rumored per se, but it's a thought that perhaps I have several spices going on in this yonder neck of the woods. And, kinda makes me go, not bad, but I'm late for work this morning. Oh no, you're hanging out with us instead of getting to work on time. Gotta work. I love the brain spices. Yeah, and I say it's rumored because I'm not actually diagnosed. But there are signs. I've had several professionals tell me, just going and getting diagnoses for things is hard when you're spicy and can't make phone calls to go to the doctor for yourself. It's a problem. It's a problem when you're an adult and have a hard time doing things for yourself because they're scary. Easy stuff for Christmas gifts. Then I taught myself cables and charts to make mom cabled sweater. I want to make a cabled sweater. I haven't gotten to cables yet. Too strong at times. Yes. It's fine, I can multitask. Just don't drive into a tree or a tornado and you'll be fine. Or a fence. Or a sign. A town sign, because that destroyed my car so hard. Just, be careful out there. I think this was 3. Lace and double knitting 2 shortly after that, and it was 10 years ago. Ooh. Yeah, I want to start. Oh no, where's Kansas? Fences are just speed bumps, exactly. But your therapist agrees I have a healthy dose of that spice too. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I should theoretically talk to someone about these things. But since I got past childhood without anyone doing anything, uh whereas there was a responsible person technically who should have taken me to talk about all the things, it's hard for me to go to and express the actual problems and the things going on with someone. There was a bad rollover crash on the interstate at like 2 a.m. and it's shut down. Oh no! But you know how it is. Got all of the things going on. Get anxious about talking to people. Kind of thing. Um, sorry, was having trouble with the app, but hello, I love the vibes and I'm here for the chaos. Well, you found the right place because we have both good vibes and chaos interchangeably. We're happy to have you. People can't drive. This is true. Yeah, 100%. In getting a formal diagnosis, I have the understanding I'm learning, and that's that. Yeah, and that's kind of where I am because I'm technically a professional in this area. No, actually, it's worse, Katie. Just anything on the phone is more anxiety inducing, which is why I can't get to talk to someone in the first place because you have to call them in order to make an appointment. And then you have to show up at a certain time on a certain date. And I get anxious when I have appointments. I get really anxious when I have appointments. And I can't do anything. Sometimes can make the process easier. Yeah, no, it scares me. Talking on the phone is still, yeah, JC and I have talked about that. Yeah, phones make everything difficult for me. I have a hard time, um, figuring out what people's voices, like their inflection means. So it makes me really anxious. And also, every time I use the phone to call someone, I feel like I am intruding on their life. And then I don't get over the hurdle to actually make the phone calls because I feel like I am intruding on their life. See, I like text messages because, like, you can answer a text message whenever. You don't have to answer it right away, right? Yeah. But also, I'm technically in a field that has a lot to do with this sort of thing, technically speaking. Um, and I do have a degree in this sort of thing. I did have in my schooling a professor that was like, "Hey, you got a lot going on." Yeah, I know. But can't you hear the joking tone in my voice through a text message? No, no. But I can just assume that everything is monotone in text.